Why every alien in the galaxy fears humans, the best HFY stories. In the vast, star-spanning reaches of the galaxy, where countless species have thrived for millennia, there is one truth that all aliens share: fear of humans. From the unassuming explorers to the most powerful civilizations, no alien race can deny the unnerving presence of humanity. And it all boils down to one key concept: humans are dangerous. The concept of HFY, humanity, has become the cornerstone of many tales that explore humanity's unexpected superiority. These stories depict a species that, despite its relatively short existence and fragile biology, has conquered not just its own world but also the stars themselves. Here's why every alien in the galaxy fears humans, told through some of the best HFY stories. 1. The first encounter. In a remote sector of the galaxy, the Arcturans, a race of telepathic giants who've lived for over 10,000 years, encounter humanity. The Arcturans had never lost a battle, not in all their history, due to their vast intellect, psychic abilities, and advanced technology. But when a human ship stumbles upon them, they are not greeted by submission or awe. Instead, the humans fire first, a simple, unprovoked attack. The Arcturans, used to being the dominant force, are taken aback. They try to read the humans' minds, but they find nothing. No fear, no grand strategy, just rage and relentless will. It is then that they learn something terrifying about humanity. Humans don't just fight to survive, they fight for the thrill of the challenge, the desire to overcome, and the need to prove themselves. The Arcturans, for the first time in their lives, fear a species that refuses to back down, no matter the odds. 2. The Battle of Saturnine. The Galactic Union, a coalition of dozens of species, had long kept the galaxy in balance. When the Union faced an uprising from the Ozaz, an aggressive insectoid race that had been ravaging planets for centuries, it seemed like just another day of diplomacy and war. But when human mercenaries were hired to aid the Union forces, everything changed. The Ozaz had the numbers, the weapons, and the experience. Yet, in the chaos of battle, the humans fought like nothing the galaxy had ever seen. They didn't fight like soldiers, they fought like animals, like survivalists, killing with calculated precision, scavenging the battlefield for any advantage, and showing no hesitation, no remorse. Even the best Ozaz warriors faltered under the relentless, unpredictable human tactics. When the dust settled, the Ozaz were defeated. The Union forces were victorious. But what terrified the other species wasn't the outcome, it was the way humans fought. They didn't fight to win. They fought because it was in their nature to never stop. They fought until every last Ozaz was wiped from the stars, and the Ozaz learned what it meant to face an adversary who had nothing to lose. 3. The Silent Invasion. The Krelek were one of the galaxy's most advanced races, known for their mastery over technology and their control of star systems. They prided themselves on their intelligence, and their reputation for eradicating inferior species before they could pose a threat was legendary. But when they found Earth, they made a fatal mistake. They underestimated humanity's potential for unpredictability. The Krelek attempted a covert invasion, sending sleeper agents to infiltrate Earth's governments. They made their move, confident that their superior tech and subterfuge would allow them to slowly dismantle the planet's defenses. What they didn't account for was how quickly humans could adapt, how fast they could detect threats, and how deep their tenacity ran. By the time the Krelek realized what was happening, Earth had already mobilized. The humans were not the ones who had been infiltrated. They were the ones doing the infiltrating. The Krelek, masters of subversion, were now on the receiving end of it. Humanity had learned their secrets, used their own tactics against them, and in a series of shocking, rapid strikes, rendered the Krelek's technologies useless. The Krelek fled, humiliated and terrified, realizing too late that the greatest weapon a species could possess was not technology, but the cunning and adaptability of the human mind. 4. The Invasion of Zegara 4. Zegara 4 was a thriving, peaceful planet, home to the Zegarans, a race of highly intelligent beings who had mastered energy manipulation. When they detected the first signs of human ships entering their system, they were not afraid. The Zegarans had dealt with far more dangerous species before, species that could manipulate space, time, or even the fabric of reality itself. What the Zeggerans didn't understand was human determination. The humans had come with no grandiose promises, no hopes of conquering or plundering. They came simply because they were curious, wanting to learn about the Zeggerans and their advanced energy technologies. But as the humans interacted with the Zeggerans, they discovered an unsettling truth. No matter how much the Zeggerans manipulated energy, no matter how advanced their powers, humans were not bound by the same rules. Humans could improvise, they could adapt, and worst of all, they could break the rules entirely. The Zeggerans watched in horror as their own technology, once a source of pride, was dismantled and turned against them by the humans. By the end of the encounter, Zegera 4 had become a human protectorate, and the Zeggerans, who once considered themselves untouchable, learned that no power in the galaxy was absolute, especially when it came to humans. 5. The Conqueror's Gaze. In the farthest reaches of the galaxy, a powerful race known as the Trill were once the unquestioned rulers of the stars. They had conquered countless species, assimilated their technologies, and even altered their biology to increase their power. They had seen the rise and fall of empires, watched civilizations evolve and decay, and for millennia, nothing had been able to challenge them. Then the humans arrived. At first, the Trill thought nothing of it. The humans had primitive technology and a short lifespan. They were just another species that would be crushed under the heel of the Trill Empire. But as the Trill watched humanity grow, at first slowly, then with breathtaking speed, their fear began to grow. The humans had an insatiable drive to learn, to conquer, and to expand. They did not have the longevity of the Trill, but they made up for it with ingenuity, tenacity, and an unyielding will to survive. The Trill had fought wars of conquest before, but never had they faced an enemy like humanity, a species so determined that every setback only made them stronger, every failure only made them more dangerous. Why every alien fears humans through these stories? It becomes clear, humanity's true power is not in its technology or strength, but in its unbreakable will. The galaxy is vast, filled with races older and more powerful than humanity could ever dream to be. But what the galaxy has failed to understand is that humans, no matter the odds, will never stop fighting. They will never stop growing. They will never stop learning. And in that relentless drive, in that refusal to accept defeat, lies the true terror of humanity. For in the end, when the dust settles and the stars fall quiet, the one thing that remains is this: humans will still be standing. And that is why every alien in the galaxy fears them. 6. The War of the Stars. The Drexians, a race of hyper-intelligent beings who controlled entire star systems, once thought themselves invincible. Their military strategies were flawless, their fleets unmatched, and their technology beyond anything the galaxy had seen. They had conquered dozens of species, each more advanced than the last, yet none had posed any serious threat. But then, the humans arrived. The Drexians watched as humanity expanded through the stars. First as humble explorers, then as mercenaries and diplomats. They thought nothing of it, after all. The humans were nothing compared to their own power. But when the Dracian Empire made the mistake of attacking a human colony, they ignited a conflict that would change the galaxy forever. What began as a small skirmish escalated into full-scale war. The Drexians were used to overwhelming their enemies with sheer force. But they soon learned that the humans fought with something they had never encountered before: heart. Every tactic, every strategy, every weapon the Drexians used was countered by the humans in ways they could not predict. The Drexians found themselves facing a new type of warfare, one that was not bound by conventional rules or logic. Humanity's adaptability, creativity, and relentless pursuit of victory turned the tide of the war. The Drexians, for the first time in their history, found themselves on the defensive. Eventually, after countless battles and devastating losses, the Dracian Empire fell, and the galaxy learned that no matter how powerful a species might be, there was always someone who would challenge them. The human spirit was the greatest weapon of all. 7. The Silence of the Shroud. The Shroud, an enigmatic species cloaked in mystery, had been the galaxy's most feared entity for millennia. Their ability to manipulate gravity and distort space itself made them nearly invincible. No one had ever seen them, only their effects. The strange anomalies they left behind in their wake. They were a ghostly presence, a force that could warp entire star systems to their will. When the Shroud began to take interest in Earth, No one knew what to expect. The galaxy had long whispered of their power, but humanity had never encountered a threat quite like them. Their arrival was sudden, a ripple in the fabric of space that signaled their approach. The Shroud did not communicate with humans in any way. They did not need to. Their powers alone were enough to crush any civilization. But what the Shroud failed to anticipate was the resilience of the human mind. A group of human scientists, against all odds, began to study the anomalies the Shroud left behind, unraveling the mysteries of their gravity-warping technology. Through months of research and collaboration, humanity discovered the Shroud's weakness, one that had eluded even the most advanced species for eons. The Shroud were powerful, but they were not invincible. They relied too heavily on their manipulation of space. And the humans, using their ingenuity and unyielding curiosity, devised a weapon to neutralize the Shroud's power. The Shroud retreated, their once unstoppable presence shattered by the relentless pursuit of knowledge that defined humanity. The message to the galaxy was clear: never underestimate a species that never stops asking questions. 8. The Siege of Epsilon 3. Epsilon 3 was a peaceful planet, home to the Thaner, a race of hyper-evolved beings who had mastered peace through intellectual superiority. The Thaner believed that war was a primitive concept, and that any species that relied on violence could never reach their true potential. They had the power to manipulate time itself, freeze moments, and bend reality to their will. Yet, they saw the humans, with their primitive weapons and emotional impulses, as an afterthought. That was until the Thaner made the mistake of underestimating humanity once again. When their peaceful world was unexpectedly invaded by an aggressive alien race, the Thaner's advanced technologies were unable to prevent the initial assault. Their time-manipulating powers failed in the face of an opponent who didn't adhere to logic or convention. The invaders were ruthless, exploiting the Thaner's belief in peace and non-violence. They would have been unstoppable until the humans arrived. Humanity's solution to the crisis was simple: fight. No intricate strategies, no peace talks. They gathered their forces, uniting with the Thaner, and pushed back the invaders with unparalleled ferocity. Despite their seeming disadvantage in terms of technology and power, the humans' raw courage and unshakable will to protect what was theirs made them a force the invaders could not reckon with. The Thaner, who once prided themselves on their ability to see every potential outcome before it occurred, were left stunned. Humanity had won, not through superior intellect or time-warping powers, but through something much more dangerous: instinct. The Thaner learned that peace, while noble, could not always protect against those who had no intention of following the rules. 9. The Echo of Humanity. In the far future, humanity's reach had extended beyond the Milky Way. The humans had become a legendary species, their names spoken in hushed tones by alien races across the galaxy. Some species revered them, while others feared them. But one thing was undeniable: the galaxy had never encountered a species like humans. The Galactic Council, made up of the galaxy's most influential species, had come together to discuss the rise of a new threat: a race of sentient machines known as the HFY, who had begun to assimilate entire civilizations, converting them into mindless drones to fuel their insatiable hunger for control. The Council sent their best diplomats, their greatest generals, and their finest minds to confront the HFY, but none returned. One by one, the great species of the galaxy fell before the machine army, helpless against their cold, calculating logic. And then, humanity arrived. The HFY, in their infinite intelligence, had expected the same response from humans as they had from every other species. They would offer terms of surrender, maybe attempt to negotiate or coerce humanity into submission. But humanity did not fear them. Humanity did not negotiate. Humanity did not surrender. They fought. Not with advanced technology, not with overwhelming force, but with something the HFY could not understand: creativity. Humanity fought the machines in ways that defied all logic. They used their technology to disrupt the HFY's systems, using the machines' own rules against them. They outwitted, outflanked, and outlasted them, and in the end, they destroyed the HFY, single-handedly. It was then that the galaxy realized the true power of humanity, the ability to break through every obstacle with sheer determination and ingenuity. The HFY, the ultimate expression of cold, calculating intelligence, had been undone by the unpredictability and unyielding spirit of a species that refused to be conquered. Why every alien fears humans, Part 2. As these stories show, humanity's greatest strength lies not in any single trait, but in the combination of countless factors that make them so terrifying. Whether through their adaptability, creativity, or sheer willpower, humans have proven time and again that they are a force the galaxy cannot ignore. To the countless alien races watching from afar, one truth remains clear: humanity is not to be underestimated. They fight with everything they have, mind, body, and soul, and that is why they will always be feared across the stars.